So now in the last class we have discussed about the mesh current analysis, right? So now we are going to discuss about the next topic, that is super mesh. Super mesh will take place whenever there is a current source. Okay, like now the question is how current source looks like. Current source symbol is like this. Okay, like suppose I'm taking the example of simple circuit. In this we'll have two voltage source and one current source, right? So just imagine that this current source is your enemy. Okay, this current source is your enemy. Now tell me what you will do with your enemy. Like if suppose your enemy is front of you, okay, he is standing front of you, or suddenly you are going somewhere and he comes in your path. So what you will do with your enemy in that case? You will try to avoid him or kill him, right? So if we will be able to kill, then only. Okay, so in this also you are correct that you need to avoid it. So you are moving from A to B, right? As I told you, whichever the starting point, that will be the ending point. So you need to move to back to A only, like this is your home to college, and you saw that your enemy is present in this path. So what you will do? You will avoid the path where your enemy is present. So you'll choose a long path and then back to the same point. Okay, clear? Now in this we'll have same procedure, two meshes, one of the meshes I1 and another is I2. Now mark sign convention. Never mark the sign convention across the current source, okay? Because basically current source we can't apply the KVL where the current source is present. Simple procedure, right? Now this is technically known as super mesh when we are avoiding the current source. Apply KVL in super mesh. Super mesh is A, B, C, D, E, F, A. Now again you need to follow the same procedure. You have to take the second sign, right? You are moving from positive to negative. So negative 4 I1, negative 6 I2, minus 20, and then nothing is there, then second sign is plus 10 is equal to 0. Okay, yeah, first do this then. Understood this one? Now we have to make one equation from the current source always. So current source is in the middle branch, and in the middle branch there is a flow of single current or the double current. There is a flow of double current. In the middle branch there is a flow of double current. From this side if you'll see I1 is flowing, from this side if you'll see I2 is flowing, correct? So I1 direction and 2 ampere direction is same or opposite? Tell me. It's opposite, so I1 would be negative. Similarly I2 direction and 2 ampere direction, it's same or opposite? It's same. So same direction means positive and opposite direction means negative. Okay, so you'll have two mesh, two variable and two equation. You can solve it. Power is equal to I square R, right? I can mark it as like suppose I1 and I2. So I1 square R is 2. So ultimately we need to calculate current only. Okay. Similarly, they can ask the voltage also, that voltage across 2 ohm. So again the formula for that is I into R. Ultimately you need to calculate current also. So maybe they'll ask you directly or maybe they'll ask you indirectly, but finally you need to calculate current only by using KVL. Okay, this kind of question can come in your paper like 1 or 2 marks. Do it now, make the equation. Correct. So first equation is minus 2i1 minus 3i2 plus 5 is equal to 0, and another would be i1 minus i2 is equal to 2 ampere. So you can solve it and get the value for i1 and i2 by using calculator. You can substitute it over here, then you will get the final answer. Correct? Now for this we need to calculate ix, right, by using mesh analysis. So first equation would be through the super mesh, right? This is super mesh. So first equation would be minus 5i1, i2 minus i3, then minus 8 i2 minus i4 minus 10 i1 plus 15 is equal to 0. This is your first super mesh equation. Another equation you can make it from the simple mesh. That would be minus 4 i4 minus i3 minus 6 i4 minus 8 i4 minus i2 is equal to 0. Right? नहीं ix नहीं लेना, you don't need to take ix का I'll tell you later on. We have to take it in terms what we have assumed, not what they have given. ठीक है? Now next equation we need to make it from the current source. As you know, this current source is in the middle branch, so it would be i1 and 1 ampere are opposite. That would be minus i1 plus i2 is equal to 1 ampere. Its value is 1. Now we'll make the equation from the another current source. Another current source is 2 ampere, and as you can see that 2 ampere is in the corner branch, and in the corner branch there is a flow of single current. So i3 direction and 2 ampere direction is same, so we can directly write down that i3 is equal to 2 ampere. Okay, so as you can see that we'll have 4 variables and we'll make 4 equations. 4 equation you can't do it through calculator also. You just need to substitute. You can substitute the i3 value over here, right? Then you can solve it. Now the question arises, but ma'am, that they didn't ask you the i1, i2, i3, i4, right? What they have asked? They ask you ix, correct? Ix is the middle of i3 and i4, right? It is in between the i3 and i4. So now tell me, i3 direction and ix direction is same or opposite? Opposite, so it would be minus i3. Now i4 direction and ix direction is same or opposite? No, ix and i4 same, so it would be positive. So ultimately we'll get ix would be equal to minus i3 plus i4. Okay, now in this question, next question, in this we'll have 5 meshes, so we need to make 5 equation, right? So now the question arises ki ma'am, how do we start, like from the mesh, from the super mesh, from the current source? So I'll suggest you start from the current source. That would be easy for you. Okay, so 1 ampere is the current source. It's in the middle branch, i1 and i2. i1 direction and is same, so i1 would be positive, i2 would be negative. That would be equal to 1 ampere, correct? Next equation you can make it through the 2 ampere current source. That would be i2 direction is same and i3 is opposite. It's not like every time it would be एक होगा और एक नहीं होगा, maybe दोनों same हो, maybe दोनों opposite. Okay, next simple we can use mesh analysis, right? So mesh analysis would be minus 5 i5 minus i4 minus 6 i5 plus 5 is equal to 0, right? कोई नहीं. Another would be this mesh, right? So that would be minus 4 i4 minus 5 i4 minus i5 minus 3i4 minus 3 is equal to 0. Fourth equation. Now we need to make one more equation, है ना? How will we get it? Through super mesh. Suppose you are standing at here, you need to move. You can't follow the path where current source is present, so you can move through the outer path also, or you can move through with inner path also, diagonally. Okay, so now the question arises कि बच्चे पूछते हैं कि मैम कैन वी टेक दिस ऑल्सो, ये वाला, ये सुपर मैश ये ले सकते हैं ये वाला? तो आंसर इज नो. सुपर मैश इज कंडीशन arises when there is a current source in between, right? And if we'll take this, then there would be no current source, so we can't use this super mesh. Understood? ठीक है, नहीं, it's a common query regarding student, that's why. Okay, so it would be minus 2i3 minus 3i3 minus i4 minus 5 minus 8i1 plus 10 is equal to 0. So this is your fifth equation, right?